Welcome to Caching Waves. Just wanted to give you guys a update on HBAR Hedera Hashgraph. Last time I made a video, we were taking a short trade. It was a risky one, but we had a really tight stop. I wanted to show you potentially how the market changed and do some real-time analysis for you. First of all, this is my proposed long-term counts. Currently my primaries are, we're coming up to make a fourth wave and either a 1-to-1 ABC up, and then we would get further downside for our fifth, or we get a longer WXY longer term correction and then go for further downside, or we have a leading diagonal up and we'd get a correction after and then go higher. Now, focusing on the last video, I was calling this a fifth wave in a leading diagonal. And my invalidation point was right here at 0.665. Actually, it was a bit higher. I was on log scale because it was the further of the two targets. I was at 682. As you can see, we got stopped out on that. So that is now invalid. It can no longer be a leading diagonal. So we'll get rid of that. And let's see if there's any way this is coming to the downside for a fifth. In that count, I have this as a expanded flat, a B coming down for a C and 5. Bring that up a little bit, sorry. And usually what I like to look for at a minimum, now this is more of a guideline than a rule, is for our third wave, we would want at least 33% correction after the impulse. And it doesn't fit my guideline on that. Like I said, I'm always looking for at least a 33. You can see we came up short. Doesn't mean it's not possible, but it's not my primary. ABC. So where does that leave us on the last move? Let's do a little bit of measuring here. Let's see where we rejected from. My guess is probably around the 618 if the algorithms are in there. Look at that, we rejected right at the as close to the 618 as we can get. Didn't break this high, and we've rejected pretty hard. Get rid of these trend lines here. Just measuring this. Let's say we had a ABC, ABC. That would be a W wave potentially. Does that give us long enough? It doesn't quite qualify. Like I told you, I like at least the 0.33. That doesn't quite qualify. And if this was WXY Z ABC ABC A, then we get an ABC again, you can see how much quicker if this was a wave. And then this is our connector. It's just so fast, it doesn't look like it belongs in a complex correction together. So where would that leave us? We could get a flat here. Let's see if that qualifies. We'd be looking for our B wave of this correction. If this was the B wave, we'd be looking between the 1 to the 1.382. Most likely is the 1.236 target. We just came up shy with that. That works for me. And what did we reach if this was an A, B, C? We need a 618 to qualify, and we got it. So that looks better to me. I have this as a B, C, potentially a W. Our second, it looks like a 333, so that will be a WXY. Get that on the right level here. And then we'd have a potentially ABC. So there's our double zigzag with a flat connector. Let's see how that looks for fib time. So we'd want our first ABC to be about the same length. Get rid of this one. About the same length. We came pretty much bang on there. So this is the one I would lean on for a corrective move to the upside. Now, you can, I know there's no 5 waves in this, so this can't be a 1 wave to me. The only way to count that would be, this would be a leading diagonal, 3 there, 4, and we just get a spike up. Technically, you can get 5 waves out of that. It doesn't really look correct to me. The fibs work. Hit the 1.618. 1.382 for the third, popped up for the fifth. Yeah, that could be a 1-2. I know there's some counts out there which I disagreed with right away, with a couple 1-2, 1-2s, 1-2s, nested 1-2s, and thinking, oh, this is taking off to all-time highs and we're just going to keep going. I didn't see that in any way, shape, or form coming. And I did take into account this could have been a 1-2 and then a 1-2 over here going off for our third. That was possible with the flat in between, 1-2, 1-2, and then we go for our third. But once we've come back down to this proposed wave 1 area, if this was a 1-2, 1-2, we should not come back to this zone. So it can't be a 1-2, 1-2. So you have to get that out of our heads as a possibility. And what I was looking for in this area to continue is getting our first bounce at around the 382 level or the 236, at which case there would have been a nice trade setup where we'd go here, 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 hold the high in a nice flag pattern, and then look with our high, but we didn't get that either. So as of right now, I don't like a lot of the options available. So I'd consider this potentially an A wave if I had to pick a trade right now. And we do have quite a lot of support over here, which is where I would expect us to get support, and we're kind of cutting right through that like a knife at the moment. Next area of support would be down in this area above these highs. You can see right in this area here. So let's take a look at that, what that looks like. So if this is a completed A wave, double zigzag, or a W wave, after that we would expect a move similar or a 5-wave move if this ends up being a flat to the upside. So what would that look like here? If we get holding in that area, yeah, that could get us up there. We look for the one. We'd be looking for the 1.382 or the 1.236. Right in between there is our most likely spot if we did have a flat and we come down and hold in this area. That matches up with our 1-to-1 to our A wave over here. So that's a possibility. It's very important to look at the bigger potential pattern forming, just to make sure everything lines up correctly. You get so focused on the short-term time frames and you don't realize the higher time frames are the ones that are actually pushing you to where you want to go. So if this is completed, again, what to look for over the next little while is, again, no rush here. I want at least a 0.33 of this proposed A wave for our correction. So that could take a while, as you can see. It could take us almost a week into September at minimum. And we would expect my on targets here. Yeah. So we've already hit the 382 of this. If we do bounce here, we could get a complex correction. Like I said, I want to get at least the 0.33 of this wave. So what would that look like? Most likely targets are between the 382 and the 618. That's our area of interest. We know we have our support between the 618 and the 786, looking back in time, this whole area here. So somewhere right here would be ideal at around 5.5 cents. So it looks like we have an A wave down or working on. How would this look if we end up in this area? We want to come sideways here, potentially up and then down, and then we go for our C wave and potentially an expanded flat or WXY to the upside. So as of right now, this is a no trade zone for me. There may be an option for a short once we get a B wave in, possibly over the weekend or early next week. Just want to give it more time and zone in on the smaller time frame charts. Looks like we have potential 5-wave impulse done. 1, 2, 3. Oh, potentially working on a 4th, down for a 5th. But this overlap to me completely gets rid of anything super bullish. There's just too much chop there. So I'm going to give this a little more time. The area I would be interested in a short is once we get a B wave after this wave's completed. Whether we go up from here, drift sideways, pop up, that's an area I'd be interested in. Or if we come down a little more and then make our B wave. And very simply, wherever that is, we'll be looking for the 50 from when this wave completes, when it's finally complete, if it's from here or a bit lower. I'd be looking for a short at the 50. I'll make this a different color for you, just so you know what to look for. 382 to the 618 is the most common. I always try and target the 50. You can take a bite at the 382, add more at the 50. Stop goes at the high of this. And we're looking for the 50 of this move when it's done. And we'll be targeting at least this area. So it's not a great risk reward, but it's a pretty simple trade setup once we do get it. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. And after we get this B wave, want it at least to take till September 5th to complete that correction. Otherwise, I wouldn't consider this wave complete yet. And targeting up around 10 cents. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to let me know below. Make sure to subscribe for more updates. Thanks.